How many of you, growing up, had an imaginary friend? Just signify by raising your hand. Okay, great. So keep your hands up if your imaginary friend committed suicide. Just me, huh? Well, let me tell you about my imaginary friend, Charlie. Charlie was very significant in my childhood. He and I did everything together, and he was absolutely adorable. You know, let me just show you a picture of Charlie and me at Christmas time. Right? Did I tell you he was adorable? Look at him, look at his hair, it's perfect. But he wasn't just a cute kid. Charlie also was a really good student. He was an avid reader. We have a picture of Charlie at school. While I'm able to laugh today at my thought process as a child, the manner in which I constructed for Charlie to leave me is a clear reflection of how much shame had eroded my young life. Within 3 years of Charlie leaving me, I became a daily drinker. At the age of 11, I experienced my first drunk and my first blackout, and I absolutely fell in love with alcohol. Just 4 years later, at the age of 15, while intoxicated, I fell off a 2-story building. The doctors told my father that I probably would not live, and if I did, I would be paralyzed. I eventually walked out of that hospital, and within days, I had a drink in my hand. At the age of 22, while incredibly inebriated, I physically beat my best friend so badly that she required hospitalization. My life was riddled with shame. And then, on April 8, 1995, I came to in a hospital bed. Someone had placed me in a medical detox unit, and on that day, my battle with alcoholism ended, and my journey to understand shame began. Currently, I've been sober for 22 years. And every day, I see the devastation of shame. But I get to teach the advantage of facing it. And I believe that we can eradicate shame one lie, one life at a time. What is shame? How did something invisible become so destructively evident in my life? Shame is a belief that I'm not good enough. It is an idea that I am who others say I am, and I forfeit the right to decide myself. Shame is a gift, it is a host of lies, and it's graffiti. Shame is a gift. Now, it's not the Christmas Hanukkah kind of gift. It's more of the STD type, right? You cannot manufacture it alone. Someone else has to give it to you. Someone else has to bring you into a relationship with shame. A child cannot believe or think that she is stupid unless someone tells her that she is. Shame comes from the outside, social media, TV, parents, teachers, complete strangers, and it buries itself inside of us, and it changes how we view ourselves and the world. Brené Brown states, shame corrodes the very part of us that believes we're capable of change. What that means is, if you comment on my weight, I'm not going to go home and adopt a healthy lifestyle. I'm going to go home and eat a box of Oreos. Double stuff at that. Shame is a host of lies. After spending some time with me, my AA sponsor, she told me that my mind was a bad neighborhood. She said, don't go up there alone, it's just too dangerous. Now, you've heard a little bit about my childhood. Remember Charlie? So you may tend to agree with her, and I do as well. My mind is a bad neighborhood, but only when I believe the lies of shame. When I live a lie as if it is true, then I'm distracted from my purpose, instead consumed by behavior, drug addiction, bulimia, people-pleasing, just to name a few. Truth can hurt, but it doesn't create bondage. That's shame's job. My job is to put shame out of work. With shame unemployed, the neighborhood can become a quieter, safer place, and purpose can take up residency. Shame is the graffiti that covers our purpose. When I look at this picture, my first reaction is punks. Punks that have too much time on their hands. But if you took this exact piece and you placed it in a museum, I would automatically think that it's brilliant art. That's the power of shame. It changes perception. I had to quit allowing where I was in my life, my location, and what others wrote on me to devalue my purpose. Once I stopped being distracted by the graffiti, the colors, the images, then I could look deeper and see the true meaning. Beneath graffiti is purpose. The message within art, just like shame, is always purposeful. The very thing that I was running from through the use of alcohol, the graffiti written on me in the middle school hallways, the experience that I put so much effort into covering up through behavior, those very things, when treated differently, propelled me to a new platform. For a beautiful and very relative illustration, just look at the power of TED Talks. Every TED Talk is someone who saw art where I only saw graffiti. It is evidence of shame being repurposed. When I am able to take a shameful experience and use it as a stepping stool, then it's not just me who gets a new view. For a simple example, I work with teenagers. There's been times they've come into my office absolutely devastated because they've just received their SAT score. The future that they had envisioned is now destroyed based on their thoughts about their score. And I will say to them, do you see all the degrees on my wall? Let me tell you my SAT score. Let's just put it this way. My SAT score is a really good credit score. True. It's true. It's just not a good SAT score. But because I no longer have shame around that number, I'm able to share honestly with them, and their shame is replaced with empathy and compassion. Once I realized that shame isn't mine, it belongs to someone else, and I refused to partner with the lies, then I could look at shame like graffiti that contained a message that led me to a renewed purpose. Shame repurposed allows any of us to start a program, run a 5K, write a book, or be that friend that's a vessel of empathy and compassion. Shame can be the graffiti that covers our purpose, but it can also be the message that influences change in this world, a world that even Charlie could live in. Thank you.